Hi students, today we are going to learn the lesson atmosphere. In the previous video, that is part 1, we had learned about the composition of the atmosphere, different layers of the atmosphere and importance of the atmosphere, etc. Today in part 2, we are going to learn the topics greenhouse effect and global warming, causes, ozone depletion, impact of global warming, measures to check greenhouse effect and global warming. The sun continuously sends or radiates heat and light energy in all directions, and it is called the solar radiation. The heat energy received by the earth is called insolation or incoming solar radiation. This incoming solar radiation first enters the earth's atmosphere, where air, cloud and dust absorbs a part of this radiation and heats up the atmosphere slightly. Only half of the incoming solar radiation reaches the earth's surface and heats it up. The heated surface of the earth then sends back heat energy in the atmosphere, called the terrestrial radiation, which heats up the atmosphere. There exists a balance between the incoming solar radiation and terrestrial radiation. This balance is responsible for determining the Earth's surface temperature. The incoming solar radiation heats up the Earth's surface during the day. At night, the Earth's surface sends out the heat in the form of terrestrial radiation and is thus cooled. Some of this heat is absorbed by the gases in the atmosphere and does not escape into the outer space and gets trapped on the earth. If this heat is not trapped, the earth would be extremely cold at night, making human survival quite difficult. This effect is called the greenhouse effect, and the gases that cause it are called greenhouse gases. It is so called because the process is similar to the heating of a greenhouse. The excessive accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, like carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, ozone and water vapor, increases the heat trapped, leading to an increase in the temperature on the earth. Over the years, due to several human activities, these heat trapping gases have increased in the atmosphere. This has resulted in gradual increase in temperature across the world and is known as global warming. The following are the causes which have increased the concentration of heat trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and in turn are responsible for global warming. First, burning of fossil fuels. One of the major contributors to global warming is carbon dioxide. The primary source of carbon dioxide is burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and petroleum, etc. Second, harmful emissions from industries. With rapid industrialization, the amount of harmful gases being discharged into the atmosphere has increased considerably. Third, vehicular emissions. The major harmful gases released from automobiles, locomotives, and aircrafts include carbon monoxide, unburned hydrocarbons, and nitrogen oxide. The fourth, that is deforestation. Due to rapidly growing population, forests are being cleared to use land for buildings, houses, industries, agriculture, dairy farming, roads, dams, etc. The fifth, agricultural activities. A number of agricultural practices like the use of fertilizers and pesticides, fuel and oil for tractors equipment, electricity for lighting and operating water pumps leads to emission of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and other greenhouse gases. The last, chlorofluorocarbons. Concentration of chlorofluorocarbons is rising at the rate of 5% per year. These gases are not only responsible for global warming but also ozone layer depletion. CFCs are used in form of aerosols, solvents, air conditioners, refrigerants, etc. The next topic we are going to learn is ozone depletion. Ozone is naturally present in the atmosphere with its maximum concentration in the stratosphere at 20 kilometers to 50 kilometers height from the Earth's surface. This layer of ozone forms a thick layer in the stratosphere and is called ozonosphere. The average thickness of the ozone layer is about 3 millimeters, but it varies from place to place and according to seasons. It protects life on Earth from strong ultraviolet radiations that come from the sun. The destruction of ozone in the stratosphere due to some pollutants from the earth leads to the thinning of ozone layer. Such a thinned patch is called an ozone hole. The depletion of the ozone layer allows sun's harmful ultraviolet radiations to reach the earth and cause several diseases like skin cancer, cataract in the eyes, and genetic disorders. Major pollutants responsible for the depletion of ozone layer are man-made compounds called chlorofluorocarbons, nitrogen oxides, and hydrocarbons. CFCs are widely used as coolants in the air conditioners and refrigerators, cleaning solvents, aerosols, propellants, and in fire extinguishing equipment. They escape as aerosol in the stratosphere. Jet engines, motor vehicles, nitrogen fertilizers, and other industrial activities are responsible for emission of CFCs, nitrogen oxides, etc. Flying at stratosphere heights, the supersonic aircraft causes major disturbances in ozone levels. Temperature at South Pole is lower than that at North Pole. Low temperature helps in forming ice crystals. CFCs in the stratosphere stick to these ice crystals during the cold and dark winter season. During the spring season, when sunlight returns, the ice crystals melt and CFCs react to form chlorine that destroys ozone. The greatest depletion of ozone layer is seen over the Antarctica during spring season, as is visible from the picture of ozone hole over Antarctic region. Now let's discuss about the impact of global warming. Due to the greenhouse effect, the temperature on land and in the oceans is rising gradually. This continued global warming would have serious consequences for the earth and mankind. Global warming will make the ice melt, and the decrease in ice and snow surface will expose more dark surfaces of the earth, which would further lead to rise in temperature. Due to global warming, the northern regions of the northern hemisphere will heat up more than other areas of the planet. The heating of oceans and the melting of glaciers and polar ice sheets would raise the average sea level. Due to shrinking of mountain glaciers, there would be shortage of fresh water. Due to increase in floods, freshwater resources would be polluted, further leading to shortage of water. Due to excessive heat, water will evaporate quickly. The soil affected by erosion and devoid of vegetative cover will not retain moisture for long. Due to changes in temperature and rainfall patterns, there would be an increase in insects like mosquitoes which spread diseases such as malaria, dengue, and filariasis. Storms will become more frequent and more intense. Change in temperature and rainfall patterns would adversely affect agriculture. Increased dry spells could place dry and moist deciduous forest at increased risk from forest fires. Emission of greenhouse gases can be controlled by taking the following steps. First, Combustion of fossil fuels is the main cause of increase in the level of carbon dioxide in air. Alternative fuels such as solar energy, hydrogen energy, hydroelectricity, etc., should be used to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Second, deforestation must be checked and efforts should be made to develop new forests by encouraging tree planting programs. Third, the emission of nitrous oxide should be reduced by regulating the application of nitrogenous fertilizers. Biofertilizers should be used. Fourth, replacing very old refrigerators and air conditioners with new ones and ensuring the safe disposal of old ones to prevent the release of ozone depleting substances in the atmosphere. And last, by adopting 3R approach, that is reduce, reuse and recycle, to reduce wastage of resources and energy. Mind mapping. Key points. Exercises. Answer the following questions briefly. Thank you for learning along. That's all for the first unit. Have a great day.